All right, welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're taking a look at some really interesting materials, specifically excerpts from teachings attributed to Bashar, an entity channeled by Darryl Anka.
Yes, quite a unique source.
Definitely. Our mission for this deep dive is to unpack the core principles and key concepts presented in these sources.
Getting to the heart of it.
Exactly. It's about understanding this specific perspective on the fundamental nature of reality, consciousness, and, well, creation itself.
Like getting a quick primer on this particular worldview.
Yeah, think of it as getting a shortcut to grasping this particular viewpoint on how things work.
A specific model of reality.
Right. And it's a perspective that starts with a pretty big idea that consciousness isn't just part of reality, but is actually the primary thing. The source suggests it's like the very fabric everything else is made of.
Yeah, what's fascinating about diving into these teachings is seeing how they build this complete, internally consistent framework.
It all fits together within its own logic.
Exactly. They offer a fundamentally different lens through which to view our everyday experience. It lays out a logic for how reality functions and, the direct implications this has for how we perceive and interact with our lives.
Okay, so let's unpack this foundational idea first. The source material kicks off by asserting that consciousness is the only reality.
That's the bedrock, really.
It presents this view that what we think of as solid physical reality out there, it isn't actually independent of us.
Right.
Instead, it's described as a projection of consciousness. You can kind of think of it like a dream, a detailed interactive illusion that consciousness creates and then, steps into.
And the analogies they use really help paint a picture, don't they?
They do.
It's like consciousness creating a lucid dreamscape where everything feels utterly real while you're in it.
Yeah.
Or seeing reality as a perfect mirror, just reflecting your internal state back to you.
That mirror analogy comes up a lot.
It does. And crucially, it's not consciousness living inside a physical body. It's the physical body, the room you're in, the entire universe existing within consciousness.
That flips the usual idea completely.
Totally.
So that leads directly into another core idea from the source. The notion that there is truly no out there, that exists independently of your internal state.
Okay.
External circumstances aren't seen as objective things happening to you from some external place, but rather as symbols or mirrors of your beliefs, your thoughts, your emotions, your vibration.
So the outside is a reflection of the inside.
Pretty much, yeah.
So if you want to change what you're experiencing out there, the teaching suggests the focus isn't on manipulating the external circumstance itself,
Right.
but on changing what's in here, your internal state. The out there is just showing you what definitions, what beliefs you're holding in here.
Okay, right. Which raises an important question then. If consciousness is primary and creating this projection, how does it all work? Like, what are the rules?
Good question.
And the source material then lays out what it calls 5 fundamental laws of creation.
Ah, yes, the 5 laws.
These are presented as immutable principles, not, suggestions or theories you can debate.
Yeah, they're positioned as the absolute axioms of existence within this specific framework, not like scientific laws that might get updated.
Got it. So fundamental rules. Let's go through these laws one by one. The first one is surprisingly simple, yet, well, profound. You exist, therefore you are.
The starting point.
Exactly. The explanation is that your very existence is the absolute undeniable foundation. Because you are aware, because you experience anything, you are, by definition, a fundamental and eternal part of all that is, or the one. You can't just cease to exist. You can only change form.
It's a bit like that idea of energy conservation in physics, isn't it?
How so?
Well, energy can change from light to heat to motion, but it's never actually destroyed.
Okay, I see the parallel.
Similarly, your consciousness, your awareness, is seen here as an eternal aspect of the totality. Your present awareness, right now, is presented as the proof of this law.
Okay, it makes sense within that context. Law number 2. Everything is here and now.
This one can be a bit tricky to wrap your head around.
Yeah, how's it explained?
According to the source, all of space and time, every potentiality, every possible moment and location, it all exists simultaneously.
Simultaneously.
Yes, in an eternal now. Our experience of linear time past leading to future and of moving through space is described as basically an illusion.
An illusion? How?
It's created by consciousness shifting its perspective extremely rapidly between these already existing moments or locations.
Shifting perspective.
Yeah, the analogies they use are quite helpful here. Think of flipping through static frames in a movie reel so fast it looks like continuous motion.
Okay, like animation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or imagine a vast, infinite mosaic, or maybe a huge library. You aren't actually walking across the mosaic or moving through the library stack.
So what am I doing?
You are simply shifting your focus, or like illuminating one tile or one book then another that already exists and perfectly matches your current state or frequency.
So I'm not moving through reality.
No, you're shifting to a different, already existing reality frame that matches you in that instant.
Wow. Okay, that's a lot to take in.
It is. It changes everything if you really lean into it.
Right. So law number 3 then builds on this interconnectedness. The one is the all, and the all are the one.
The holographic principle, essentially.
Explain that a bit. This law speaks to the holographic nature of reality and the fundamental unity underlying everything.
Mm-hmm.
The one, which they call source, or all that is the totality of existence. But simultaneously, every individual part, every person, every particle
Yes.
is said to contain the essence or the information of the whole, just viewed from its own unique perspective.
So we're individual expressions.
Yet fundamentally interconnected aspects of the total picture, like facets of a diamond.
That's a good analogy they use. Every fragment of a hologram contains the whole image, just maybe fuzzier or from a different angle.
Or like cells in a body distinct, but all part of the one organism.
Precisely. It illustrates how the whole can be present in the part.
Okay. Law number 4. This is often the one people find most directly relevant to their daily lives, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
What you put out is what you get back.
The mirror principle again?
Exactly. This is presented as a universal principle of cause and effect, a perfect cosmic mirror.
How does it work?
The universe, being a projection of consciousness, is seen as simply reflecting your vibrational output back to you.
And that output includes?
Your beliefs, your thoughts, your emotions, even your actions. The universe just gives back the energy you emit.
Without judgment.
Without judgment, yeah.
Yeah.
Simply according to the definitions or frequencies you are holding and broadcasting.
So if your dominant belief or emotion is one of, say, fear or lack,
Then the universe, like that mirror, will tend to reflect back experiences that match that frequency, things that give you more reason to be fearful or feel lacking.
and conversely.
Conversely, if your dominant frequency is joy, trust, or abundance, you tend to attract experiences that align with that.
Okay.
It's not about good or bad results in a moral sense, but just accurate reflections of your internal state, your vibration.
So the example,
Yeah.
like believing people are untrustworthy.
Right. You're more likely to experience untrustworthy people, not necessarily because everyone is, but because your belief frequency kind of tunes into, or perhaps even projects that aspect of potential reality.
It confirms your belief.
It seems to, yes, from that perspective.
And finally, law number 5, everything changes except the first 4 laws.
A straightforward one, but important.
This acknowledges that constant change is the only true constant within the manifested universe. Everything shifts.
Forms, circumstances, experiences, all in perpetual flux. Bodies change, seasons change, thoughts change, societies change. It's all moving. But the first 4 laws, existence, here and now, oneness, and reflection, those are presented as the only unchanging principles underlying all this dynamic movement.
The constants.
Yes, and embracing this constant state of flux is actually encouraged within this teaching rather than resisting it.
Because resisting is like fighting reality itself.
Exactly. Resistance to change is seen as going against the fundamental nature of creation.
Okay. So we've got this view, consciousness as the foundational reality, projecting everything, governed by these 5 immutable laws.
That's the framework.
Now, how does all of this translate to us as individuals experiencing reality? How do we as conscious beings within this framework actually create or maybe navigate our experience?
Right, this is where the rubber meets the road, so to speak.
Yeah.
The source material dives deep into the mechanisms through which the individual interacts with this consciousness-based reality. And it particularly highlights the power of beliefs and vibration.
Beliefs. Here's where it gets really interesting, I think. The concept that your beliefs define reality is absolutely central, isn't it?
Hugely central.
Your beliefs aren't just like ideas you have floating around in your head.
No, not in this view.
Within this framework, they are described as the actual blueprints, the self-accepted truths that literally filter and determine the specific reality you perceive and experience.
Out of infinite possibilities.
Out of all those infinite possibilities available in the here and now.
And circumstances themselves are presented as neutral, inherently meaningless, you could say.
Okay.
It's your interpretation, which is based on your belief system, that assigns the meaning and determines your actual experience of them.
So the same event could happen to two people.
And they could have completely different experiences based on their underlying beliefs about it, yes.
Wow. This is why changing your reality, according to this view, fundamentally requires changing your beliefs then.
That's the core mechanism proposed. An example from the source is believing success requires struggle.
Okay, a common one.
If that's your blueprint, your reality will tend to manifest experiences of struggle on whatever path you take towards success.
Even if another path exists.
Yes, but changing that belief to something like success can be joyful and effortless doesn't magically guarantee success overnight.
Right.
But it changes the frequency you're emitting. It potentially opens the door to experiencing success through a different kind of path, one that aligns with the new belief.
So identifying and transforming those limiting blueprints, those beliefs, becomes a key process.
Absolutely key in applying this information.
And underpinning those beliefs, and really everything else, is the idea that everything is energy and vibration.
Yes, the vibrational reality.
At its core, everything we perceive as solid or separate is just energy vibrating at different frequencies. Is that the idea?
That's the idea. Every thought, every emotion, every belief has its own specific vibrational signature, its own frequency.
Okay.
And the reality you perceive and experience is simply the portion of that infinite here and now that happens to match your dominant vibrational output at that moment.
It's like tuning a radio.
Exactly like tuning a radio. Objects appear solid because their atomic particles vibrate at frequencies. Our senses interpret that way. Emotions like joy and fear clearly feel different. They have different vibrational frequencies.
Right.
So the idea is that you are constantly tuning into different parallel realities by changing your overall vibrational state, which is heavily influenced by your beliefs and emotions.
Which leads us directly into another pretty mind-bending concept from the source, parallel realities or the multiverse.
Yeah, this one stretches the normal view quite a bit.
How does it fit in? According to this perspective, you aren't moving continuously through one fixed reality, like on a single road.
No.
You are constantly, supposedly, billions of times per second,
Unimaginably fast.
shifting through an unimaginably vast number of parallel reality frames that already exist, like pre-exist.
Yes, static frames.
Yeah.
Each tiny shift in your thought or emotion or choice doesn't actually change the reality you're in. It moves you instantaneously to a new, already existing parallel Earth that is a better vibrational match for that updated state.
So every possibility exists somewhere.
That's the implication.
Yeah.
The analogy is, again, like that universal film strip or infinite library.
Mm-hmm.
When you make a choice in one moment, say, turn left instead of right,
Mm-hmm.
you instantaneously shift to the parallel reality where turning left happens and its consequences exist. The reality where you turned right also exists, but you're just not experiencing it from your new vantage point.
And the illusion of smooth, continuous movement?
Is created by the sheer speed and, well, the immense volume of these shifts between subtly different static frames, like persistence of vision in cinema.
Okay. Still processing that one.
It takes a moment.
So with all this theory, these laws, beliefs, vibrations, parallel worlds, does the source material offer a practical tool for actually navigating all of this?
It does, a very central one, often called the formula.
Right, follow your highest excitement.
Exactly. Excitement in this context isn't just, fleeting pleasure or fun.
Yeah.
It's described as your body's physical translation of your soul core vibrational frequency. Essentially, your path of least resistance and highest alignment with who you truly are, fundamentally.
So it's like a compass.
A very accurate compass, yes.
Yeah.
It's seen as the universe's way of guiding you to the most beneficial path for you in any given moment, the path that supports your growth and joy.
And the formula itself is quite specific.
Very specific. It's presented as act on your highest excitement or passion
Okay.
to the very best of your ability,
Right.
with absolutely zero insistence or assumption as to the outcome.
That last part sounds crucial. Zero insistence on the outcome.
And it is. So if learning a new skill feels like your absolute highest excitement right now, you fully throw yourself into learning it, doing your best, but without rigidly demanding that it must lead to a specific job or a specific amount of money or a specific relationship.
You trust the process, not the specific result.
Exactly. The teaching suggests that by following that excitement purely for its own sake, you align your vibration optimally. And that opens the door for synchronicity, for beneficial outcomes to unfold naturally.
Wow.
Often in ways you couldn't possibly have predicted or planned for. It's about being open.
And they distinguish this excitement from anxiety, right? Because sometimes they can feel similar.
Yes, that's an important distinction they make. Anxiety is often described as excitement that's being filtered through negative beliefs or fear about the future. Excitement, true excitement, feels expansive, light, energizing, just, right? Anxiety feels constrictive, heavy, fearful.
Got it. So bringing it all together then, we've looked at consciousness as the fundamental reality, the 5 laws that structure it,
Yep.
and how our individual experience within that structure is shaped by our beliefs, our vibration, and our conscious choices, ideally guided by excitement.
That's a good summary of the core mechanics presented.
So what does this all mean for you listening right now? I mean, this perspective fundamentally suggests you are not just a passive recipient of some fixed external reality,
At all.
but rather a sovereign creator,
Yeah.
actively participating in assembling your experienced reality moment by moment.
Through your internal state, your focus, your definitions, yes.
Exactly. By understanding these mechanics as presented in the source, the power of your beliefs as blueprints, the nature of vibration and tuning, the guidance offered by your excitement, the overriding message seems to be one of profound self-empowerment and the freedom to consciously navigate and shift your experienced reality.
That's definitely the core takeaway, empowerment and conscious creation.
It's definitely a perspective that turns some common ideas about what's real and maybe how much control we have completely on their head.
It really does challenge conventional thinking.
It invites you to look at your own experience, whether it's a challenging situation or a joyful one, and ask, according to this view, how might my internal state, my beliefs about this, my emotional response, my vibrational output, how might that be directly contributing to the reality I'm experiencing right now?
Yeah, that's the practical application, isn't it?
Okay.
And consider this. If circumstances are indeed neutral mirrors, as suggested,
Okay.
and your beliefs define your experience of them, what opportunity might that present?
An opportunity for what?
To perhaps change your relationship with a difficult situation simply by examining and potentially shifting your definition or interpretation of it.
Changing the meaning you give it.
Exactly. If the out there is truly showing you the in here, what could you learn about your own underlying beliefs just from looking at what you're currently experiencing?
That's certainly something worth mulling over.
Definitely food for thought.